Hello students, let's back and continue the projectile motions terminology we gonna use to solve the problem related to the two dimension. So you know that a projectile motion is two dimensional motion, right? So horizontal and vertical component of the velocity and acceleration you need to deal with. So we are now going to talk about the different terminology and derive maybe very important things to solve the problem related to the projectile motion. So three important terminology here. So one is time of flight. Let's say this is t. Another is the horizontal range or the maximum height. Let's say another is the maximum height that we call the h, and another is the horizontal range that is called r. Okay, so how to define this terminology? You know the projectile motion has the parabolic path, you know that. If the projected land and the landed land is the same in the symmetrical in the flat plane with angle of projection theta with initial velocity v naught, you know this velocity has the two velocity, two component vox and voy we discussed last time. Each point you have a two different velocity along y, velocity along x, right? Here you have the zero velocity here, you can say that, but you have a vox prime, you can say that they are the same. So each point you have a independent x velocity and y velocity. So what is the maximum height? This is the maximum height, okay, from the this surface to the maximum height. Then it started to descending down. So horizontal range is this distance called the r, and time of flight is the total time where the projectile remain in the air. Okay, let me go one by one. Okay, so let me begin with the time of flight. So how long the projectile will remain in its path, remain in the air. So you know here the horizontal motion is the same here, there is not changing, horizontal velocity the same. Okay, but when suppose you have a the same level here, the projection and the landing, the land is the same, the plane, then let's say what is the displacement here going from here to here, then displacement would be 0. Okay, the vertical displacement would be 0 here, like this situation. If vertical displacement is 0, suppose it takes time t, right, takes time t, so initial velocity is v naught, so then you vox and voy is the horizontal and vertical velocity. So if this is v naught, that is making angle theta, so that is vox, that is voy. Using the trigonometry, vox gives the v naught cosine theta, v naught y is v naught sine theta, you know that. So the vertical, let's see the vertical one, how you can find out the vertical displacement here. Let's say the vertical displacement is delta y is v naught y, suppose it takes a time delta t. Okay, then what you can do, plus half g delta t square. So delta y is 0 because there is no vertical displacement at all from here to here, so that is 0. voy is called v naught sine theta. Let's say delta t is time of flight t, so then g is minus g here because it is always pointing always downward direction, so let's use g, that is a becomes g, that is always pointing downward. Let me write down the a is minus g, that becomes minus a, delta t is t square, that is time of flight, isn't it? Then what happens here? You can solve for t, so you can say that 1/2 gt square is equal to v naught sine theta t, 1t cancel out, so the t is equal to 2 v naught sine theta over g. So if these two surfaces, the landing and the projecting the surface are plane, you can directly use this formula. Actually you begin with this, but what happens if you begin from this height, so it reaches the here but like a cliff situation here, then this is the delta y here. So in place of 0 you have to put delta y here, then solve for t. You may have the quadratic equation, that would be the little complicated. I will design such kind of question. Okay, if this kind of situation you can directly use that, but you know the idea how to find out time applied. Okay, so the time applied is equal to 2 initial velocity times sine of theta divided by g. G is 9.8 meter per second square. So time applied is determined by using this formula. So second thing we need to discuss is maximum height. Okay, let me derive the maximum height h. The maximum height, how to find the maximum height? Anybody idea? So since we are more concerned with the y component of the velocity because that is changing, that gives a lot of things. Horizontal is not changing, so it doesn't give much more thing except the horizontal range. Okay, so one of the formula is final velocity square is equal to initial velocity square twice a delta x kind of thing, right, from the kinematics equation, isn't it? So here what you have to do here, so here this is the highest vertical point, this is the highest vertical point here, isn't it? So use this formula. So bf square is equal to, let's say, the b naught y or by square, you can say that, is equal to b naught oy square. Suppose here is the velocity here, minus twice a becomes minus g, delta x is because vertical direction, that is the h. Okay, delta y, that is the h maximum height. The initially is here, now it is here, so displacement would be h. Y minus g because the acceleration due to gravity is always minus, always pointing downward. Okay, so here at the maximum height, the by is 0. So that at maximum height there is no vertical component of velocity, that becomes 0. Then you have 0 is equal to b naught y square minus 2gh. So the initial velocity, y component of initial velocity, boy is the b naught sine theta, I just showed you before, is equal to minus 2gh. That means 2gh is equal to b naught square sine square theta. So maximum height is equal to b naught square sine square theta, or twice of g. So you cannot change the value of g near the surface of Earth. So that is fixed, 9.8 meter per second square. What you can change, you greater the velocity, initial projection velocity, you will get the maximum height, more and more height to the top. And also if you increase the angle also, at theta is 90, so you will see it goes maximum here. Okay, so because maximum value of sine theta is sine 90 is 1. Okay, maximum height should be, it becomes 1 b naught square over 2g. So you can use this formula to find the maximum height. So final thing I am going to derive here is the horizontal range. So the horizontal range is this r. R is the horizontal range, that is the total velocity, that is the velocity along x direction, that is vox always remains the same, times time applied, that is t. So vox is b naught cosine of theta, time applied we just calculated from the first one, that 2 b naught sine theta over g. So that means 2, sorry, let me write down this, b naught square 2 sine theta cosine theta divided by g. So 2 sine theta cosine theta is sine of 2 theta. So b naught square sine 2 theta over g is equal to r. So if you want to fire the projectile with 45 degree, then sine 2 theta becomes sine 90. Then you will get the maximum horizontal length. If you want to fire the projectile that can land far away from the launching pad, so you have to project with 45 degree angle. That is very important thing. Okay, so let's take some step back and notice time and height depend on the vertical component. Remember that. So range depends both horizontal and vertical component, and the angle of projection here plays the huge role. Okay, so you can think now, at what angle do you think the range is maximum? I just told you that 45 degree, because 45 multiplied by 2 becomes 90, then that becomes 1, that is the maximum horizontal length, v naught square over g. Okay, so that's how you can deal with that. We have a lab, you launch, you'll find these things there. Okay, good luck.